Welcome to Inspired here on Fullerton College Television. My name is Reggie Peralta, and today's show, Inspired, is about some of the truly inspired students here at Fullerton College. With me in the studio, I have Wolfgang Alexander. Thank you so much for joining us, Wolfgang.
Thanks for having me.
So what brought you to Fullerton College?
After high school, I was kind of working jobs here and there. And finally, after like a year or so, I decided I just want to go into college and finally pursue something that interests me. And my mom lived out here in Fullerton, so it kind of like worked out. I got to see her, and then I got introduced to Fullerton College, which has like a great music program. So that was like perfectly the route I wanted to take. So it helped me very well.
So you've always been interested in music then, right?
Yeah. Ever since I was little, we've always had instruments around the house. Just to be able to pick up and play whenever I want, play with my dad. My mom plays music too, my brothers and sisters. So it's been around just forever for me, so it's kind of natural.
I see. So what specific degree or certificate are you pursuing?
Right now I'm focusing on a recording certificate engineering kind of degree. And it's going to help me just become like a producer. I mainly want to use it to become a self-producer, produce my bands, and take up that whole realm.
Okay. So are you thinking about jumping right into the business right after you finish up here at Fullerton, or are you keep doing a little more educational exploration?
I'm almost done with my certificate, and then after that I'll be able to find work that way. But I also want to continue with like maybe a performance degree to just help advance my music playing.
I see.
Generally.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting because you work with music not only inside of class but outside of it as well, as you are in a band.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine what you learn in class, ties directly into what you do with the band.
Yeah, definitely. I play in 3 separate projects, so as much as I play outside, having the information come from school just helps me establish my technique, and everything helps it all bring it together pretty well.
I see. What kind of music do you play in all these various bands?
They're all fairly similar. They're all metal bands, so they're just like different kind of sub-genres, I guess, of metal. So they all kind of have like their own individual taste.
I see. And what are some of like metal bands or any genre of music that like really influences you in your music?
There's a whole lot of inspiration outside of metal. You know, of course, in metal you got like Iron Maiden. That's probably my biggest influence. But then there's some jazz influence too, and blues, rock and roll like Led Zeppelin. It's just a wide variety, really.
I see. And do you guys perform, or are you guys just jamming band? Is it just for fun?
2 of them are very active. We go on we play shows at bars around California a lot of the time. And then the third one, which is the newest one, we're kind of just in a writing process. So it's really just like gathering material and seeing where that goes. The other 2, I've been playing out of state, and just pretty much taking it along for the ride.
All right. Unfortunately, I have to cut you right there. As we take a quick break, check out this commercial produced entirely by television and film students here at Fullerton College. Welcome back to Inspired. I'm Reggie Peralta, and we're talking with Wolfgang Alexander, one of our inspirational students here at Fullerton College. In the last segment, we discussed how you play bass in a number of bands. How would you describe the role of bassist to viewers?
Um, it's a very like hidden realm that not a lot of people like admire or like look into so much. I feel like a lot of people like play drums or guitar when they want to pick up an instrument, but bass is fairly as important because it keeps the rhythm going, and you need that in music. You need some sort of backbeat, some like a spine. It keeps the spine in music. So as unappreciated it is, it's very important, and yeah, it's great.
It's called. And when the times you do perform and so maybe people come up to you guys and they talk to you, do you what's it called do you ever get like feedback of people saying like, oh wow, you did really good, like as bass? You ever get that?
Yeah. Usually I would encounter a lot of other bass players, so they would like bring out my technique. You know, they would say, oh, how do you play with your three fingers, or you know, there's so many questions I could go into, and sometimes they would give me some personal feedback as well of their technique, so it kind of like helps. We kind of like help each other, so it's great.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you seek like to accomplish on a personal level with your music?
Well, I guess to really, hopefully, if someone sees me play or if they listen to the music, hopefully they could maybe feel like inspired, for lack of a better word, to pick up a bass. You know, it's a different kind of talent or different kind of gig from guitar or drums. So maybe if they could be good at it and they just didn't know. So hopefully I could help bring that out of them.
So in addition to music, you are also very interested in film. Would you say your musical interest inform your cinematic ones, or vice versa? A little bit of both, maybe?
Yeah, I love a lot of like horror films, a lot of sci-fi, and I feel like that accompanies the kind of music I play as well, because I'll play a lot of metal. It's a really heavy, really kind of dark sometimes, so kind of my film and music inspirations are kind of like similar in a way.
I see. Yeah. So, what are some specific films that influence or otherwise inspire you?
Some of my favorites got to be like the John Carpenter's The Thing. That's a great film. The Exorcist is great, of course. Evil Dead. That's got to be like one of the top main influences that me and my band members we love. We like watch it every week or so. It's just so great. Yeah.
So, well, that's interesting because like the music, what's it called, in like in those two of the films you mentioned. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off because that's unfortunately all the time we have for today. Thank you, Wolfgang, for sharing your inspirational thoughts and ideas with us on another episode of Inspired. Well, that's our show for today. I'd like to thank you for stopping by Fullerton College Television. My name is Reggie Peralta, saying, don't only be inspired, but be an inspiration to others. Thank you very much.